morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get the zen in real quick. Welcome back to my crypto journey. Got to tuck my chain in. What is it Kanye said? I don't want to go into that. Let's not talk about Kanye at the beginning of the stream. Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream. Here for a little Celsius and energy in crypto. I know I'm back on the energy drinks, guys. Don't tell Kayla. But if you're watching over on YouTube, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you like being here. And if you're watching over on X, make sure you like the video, repost. Most importantly, you repost the video and give your boy a follow. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is August 6th. Let's go. Tuesday, baby. I think it's Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? It may be Wednesday. Is it Wednesday already? Wednesday, I think. Welcome back. I actually don't know what fucking... It's Wednesday. It's hump day. Jesus Christ. What's up, AJ? How we doing? AJ, congratulations on securing your spot over there in Dubai. I think it's the block, right? Congratulations, brother. Big things happening for you. You're an awesome guy. Shirley says fire. Yeah, so we're talking about Jerome Powell. Obviously, we don't think that Trump can fire him, but Trump is obviously pushing to get him out of here, right? He wants Powell out of here. He thinks what he's doing is political. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about that, right? Because at the end of the day, I do think that Jerome Powell has done a fantastic job at getting inflation from 9.5% all the way down to where it's at now. Many different factors on why it happened in the first place. You can blame printing too much money. You can blame the pandemic. You can blame a bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, inflation was really bad. Now it's a lot better. And Trump thinks what Powell's doing is political. We'll see, but that's what he thinks, right? Now, there's been a lot of dissension in the Federal Reserve. At least that's what Trump is saying. We don't know. But Trump is looking for replacements, and he's kind of forcing him out. Now, we did get a horrendous jobs report number. We did get horrendous job report numbers, right? And I think if the Fed knew that, they would have went ahead and slashed interest rates from last time. But I think that now, it's not like the odds came out. There's like a 90% chance that we're going to get some rate cuts. So at the end of the day, we're going to get what we want. So it's going to be very interesting, right? When it comes to Trump, I'm not really here or there on the political, there's a lot, look, I'm not a blind supporter of anybody. And I have expectations, especially when someone runs on something. Now, Trump, in my opinion, has done a fantastic job with crypto. And the truth is, the last 4 years was pretty terrible for crypto. The SEC ruling with an iron fist, trying to regulate crypto out of existence. And now we have a pro-crypto president that's really trying to follow through on all of his promises. And there's a few things out of the crypto space, like the Epstein situation, that doesn't sit with me too well. So we'll see what happens going forward. But I think at the end of the day, it's a bullish time to be in the crypto space. And if you're on the sidelines, I don't know what to tell you. You got to make sure that you're locked in and ready to rock, because this is an investor's market. It's going to be the largest wealth transfer of all time. And if you're sitting around, you're going to miss it, right? So welcome back to the stream, guys. Let me say what's up to the chat and let's get started. What's up, Big Bear from X? How we doing? Alam Sia, yeah, go. Kel of Crypto, good morning. Where do you go for information? All over the internet. So Google, mainstream media outlets, Watcher Guru, a bunch of different news reporting outlets. So a bunch of different places. Frog Lover, good morning. Javi, #1 on YouTube. Good morning, Javi. How are we doing? Good morning. Javi, of course, the #1 chatter. Shirley says, fire him now. He isn't right for the job. Democrats can't run shit. WSP people, what's up, show? Bud, again, AJ, brother, dude, congrats again, man. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. Maximus says, you sound so idealist. Your mother's a hoe. Mizzy Matt, good morning. How we doing, Bud? What's up, Pueblo? My Crypto Space, AB Empowerment, Turtle Coin. Damn, we got the whole squad in here, guys. If you could just smash the repost for me one time on X, it really does help. Now, we got a couple of memes for the days. Now, I think that all of our mind look like this, right? Literally 24/7. I cannot turn it off. And I know you guys can't either, right? I can't turn it off. And then we have the evolution of money, bartering, physical objects, paper money, gold, credit cards, electronic money, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the future. Yes, it's being viewed as digital currency, as a store of value right now. And it's the best store of value. Take money or gold, for example, or just any sort of asset, right? You can't, except for stocks, right? But you can't carry a large amount. You can't travel with a large amount on you. Just going through an airport, right? You can't, what it's like, more than 15K? You have 50 gold bars in here. They're going to look at you weird, probably confiscate it. And who knows if you're going to get it back, right? And if you need to get out in a pinch or you're in a hurry, you can't carry large amounts of cash or gold on you. It's just not practical. But Bitcoin, you could hold a ton on a small, my ledger's not in front of me, but a small device like a ledger or just on your phone on a non-custodial wallet. So Bitcoin is the truth. It's the answer to traditional fiat, right? It's deflationary. You can't just make more when you want to. You can't control it. And that's why everyone's trying to buy it up right now. All right, so the overall cryptocurrency market, guys, it's kind of boring. I'm going to be honest. We're at that point. We're just kind of trading sideways, turtling, whatever you want to call it. The market's kind of boring right now, right? We're down about 0.5%. Bitcoin's sitting at $114,000. What I will say is that we kind of had a free fall from $118,000 all the way down to about $112. And now we're starting to trade sideways a little bit, which is promising, right? Ethereum sitting around $3,600, still looking to break above $4,000. We'll see what happens. XRP right around the $3 mark, which is good. Looks like we have some green in the market today, which is very nice. BNB up 2%, sitting at $768. Solana around $167. We have Tron. Same thing. Everyone's just trading sideways. Tron at 33 cents, Dogecoin at 20 cents, Cardano at 73 cents, Hyperliquid, which is doing big things, at $37. Stellar, another ISO, at 39 cents. We have Sui sitting around $3.46, Bitcoin Cash 56 cents, Chainlink $16, Hedera 24 cents, Avalanche at $22, and then Litecoin at 116. And then we have, I don't even know what this is, Eunice said Elio. I got to see what this is, but $8.98. So nothing really happening in the crypto market, kind of a boring market. And I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to news and those sorts of things, I'd rather have something going on in the market, like a dump or something, so we can buy the dip, or some sort of pump so we can get hyped. But these markets where it's trading sideways is kind of a blessing, because it gives you time to slowly dollar cost average into your favorite projects. Because the truth is, not a lot of us have a ton of money just laying around that they can invest. But if we can wait till payday, bi-weekly, however you get paid once a month, these prolonged periods of trading sideways could benefit you. But I think that we're not going to be trading sideways for long, because next month, I think we're getting rate cuts. Now, Trump did say this earlier today, I believe it was yesterday, that President Trump says 4 people are being considered to replace Jerome Powell as Federal Reserve Chair.
We've also, we're looking at the Fed chair, and that's down to 4 people right now. Very good.
So obviously we know that Trump has his disdain for Fed Powell has been pretty public, right? Is he going to fire him? Is he going to resign? It's a lot of pressure being him. Can you imagine being Jerome right now? Everyone's coming after him. Now, it's hard to see the forest from the trees. I don't know if it's political. I see, both arguments. Like they did, cut rates right before the election to make, you could say, the sitting president, which was Joe Biden. I guess Joe Biden at the time. And they're saying that why is he cutting now? And I think that the main reason why he hasn't cut, and this is his reasoning, is because he wants to see how the tariffs affect inflation going forward. Because yes, the tariffs have been a thing for a while. They're on some countries and on some. It's a negotiating tactic for some countries, but we're really starting to see the effects of that right now. So we'll see what happens. But it's very interesting. Very interesting. What's up, Simon? We got the guacamole famine house. Get Jerome out of here. He won't let us make no money. Javi says, not ideal. 15 bars of gold to travel, 69 each. Nah, exactly. Yeah. Felix says, I missed 2021. I think we're going to get some 2021 vibes very, very soon. Shared up the live on my TL. Thank you, legend. Hell yeah, Dan. What's up, baby? I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for reposting. Sometimes X lets me know when people repost the stream, but sometimes it doesn't. But we already have almost 500 viewers halfway, 10 minutes into the show over on X. So that's awesome. Selmo Fudd, what's up, baby? How we doing? Welcome to the stream. XRP Army in the house. Got the OGs here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, smash the likes. Likes do really help for the algorithm. We're trying to get back in the YouTube algorithm. All right, so next piece of news. So over $18 billion worth of Bitcoin short positions are at risk of liquidation if Bitcoin reaches $125,000. Now, I'm not saying that I want people to get wrecked, right? Because there's a lot of people shorting the markets. Obviously, shorting the markets can really send us down, right? Because people put some shorts in, when people start to get liquidated, it can really mess up the market, especially if we're going down, right? Bad news happens, people get liquidated, and it's like a vicious cycle, right? Then people the whales scare people, right? That's what whales do. If they buy up a lot, green candles create a lot of FOMO. If people sell, these whales dump and those sorts of things. We start seeing institutions sell. People freak out and say, oh, why are they selling? And they sell. So liquidations and those sorts of things can really mess with the market, right? But I'm kind of hoping we pump to $125,000, baby. I'm sorry, right? Leverage is crazy. I don't really play with leverage, but I know a lot of people that actually do. But $18 billion is so many short positions if Bitcoin starts to pump. And I honestly think that this month is going to be kind of boring. I don't think, excuse me, I don't think we're going to get any kind of major pumps or dumps until we start leading into the next, announcements of rate cuts, which I think they're going to be rate cuts. So it's going to be interesting, right? So if you guys didn't see, I spoke about Hyperliquid this morning. So Hyperliquid dominated blockchain revenue in July 2025, capturing 35% of all fees across networks per VanEck's latest report. That's actually insane, right? So Hyperliquid dominating, right? So you see right here, right? You see the entire year pretty much. Obviously, Hyperliquid's coming to the space a little later. Hyperliquid's represented in orange right here, which is insane. Obviously, Ethereum, Bitcoin dominating most of it. Ethereum's actually not doing too bad, right? But very, very interesting. So Hyperliquid, one of the bigger projects in the space, and obviously branching out. And we know USDC's on there now and those sorts of things. So this is interesting. And I want to talk about meme coins for a second, and we'll get into the meme coin charts here because just like the rest of the market, meme coins aren't really doing much. Trading sideways. We have Dogecoin, SHIB, Pepe, Pudgy Penguins, Bonk, Trump token, SPX, Floki, Fartcoin, and WIF as our top 10 meme coins. When it comes to ERC20 tokens, and if you look at the volume right now, I just think that it's only a matter of time before Pepe flips SHIB. Obviously, SHIB, OG meme coin in this space, the Dogecoin killer, been around since 2021, pretty much. I think 2020, pretty much. But if you look at the volume, right, and volume is interest, whether that's negative price action or positive price action. I mean, we have Shiba Inu at $160 million of volume, right? And then we have Pepe at $500 million, pretty much, $500 million in daily trading volume, which is crazy, right? And you go to Pudgy Penguins, and then you go to Bonk, and really everything except for SPX and a few others, right? Floki, Dogwolf has on the same kind of level, and even Meme Core, which is new, so we have to keep that in mind. It's new, but we have Bread on Base. They have more volume than Shiba Inu, which is kind of crazy in daily trading volume. So I do think that eventually SHIB will be flipped, right? Troll is another meme coin. I mean, I guess we can actually talk about that because while we're looking at meme coins, because meme coins are an important part of the space. Don't forget that. I mean, I think we looked at it one day on streaming. It was at like a $64 million market cap size. And recently it went up to like 164. Yeah. Or 187. So right now, Troll coin going absolutely parabolic. And I don't even know why. But yeah, we looked at it about last week, around July 30th. And since then, it's gone on an absolute fucking tear. I mean, this is parabolic, right? And this is the power of meme coins. So up, 14% over the last 24 hours. And the thing I like about meme coins, especially meme coins that are not top meme coins, is that they kind of just do their own thing sometimes. They kind of pump independently of what's going on in the market. So, Troll going absolutely insane. So shout out to the Troll army. What's up, my crypto space? How we doing? Edgar, welcome, bro. I saw your pump over on Instagram. And if you guys want to go ahead and follow me on Instagram, links to my Instagram is in the description below. I just shit post all day, right? Funny meme shit. That's it. All right. So, coins will go 90% before they go 50,000%. So we're talking about mostly everything, but you talk about meme coins, right? I think a good example of that, especially this run, is SPX. I mean, if you go to the SPX's all-time chart, if CoinMarketCap wants to load, I mean, look at this. I mean, SPX obviously, entered the space in 2023-ish. Had a nice little pump, nice little beginning of the year pump, and crashed all the way down. And this is kind of a make or break moment for a top meme coin because most projects don't recover, but SPX is like most projects and went absolutely parabolic, right? So these huge retracements can scare a lot of people, but it's important to understand that a lot of meme coins hit that huge retracement mark, right? And a lot of people are taking profits. Maybe the market turned red, whatever it is. A lot of top meme coins do that. So just keep that in mind. Anytime you buy, another meme coin and it dumps 90% or 60 to 90 sometimes, it's part of the process. And sometimes they recover, not all the time, but just keep in mind that's a normal part. And you can say the same thing for top cryptos like Bitcoin and those sorts of things. But as time goes on, as they get bigger, it's hard for you could say tier one cryptos to do that, right? So Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, poor dad guy, obviously has come out the last few years and been really bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. He says, anyone can become a millionaire and that Bitcoin makes becoming rich so easy. Now, I think that there's different personality traits that allow you to make a certain amount of money, being conscientious and just orderly and those sorts of things. But I do agree that if you're in the crypto space right now and you're worried about like how much Bitcoin is enough, any Bitcoin is enough. Remember, there's only going to be ever 21 million ever made, and the last one's going to be mined in 2140. So all of us will be dead, maybe, unless Elon makes it so I can have a robot body, which would be sick for many reasons, with Neuralink or something like that. But a lot of us are going to be dead by the time that the last one's mined. But we see institutions are really buying it, and retail hasn't even gotten the crypto yet. So any amount of Bitcoin is enough. You don't need a whole one. Try to get a whole one, but 0.001 of one is fine. You $20, $100, $50, $1,000, whatever you can have of Bitcoin is absolutely fantastic. So get in while you can, because everyone's trying to buy it up right now. We're so focused on meme coins. It's okay. I know I like meme coins as much as the next guy, but you got to make sure you get some Bitcoin, buy it before they all do. And I agree that Bitcoin makes becoming rich so easy if you can wait, if you have some diamond balls. Some updated news with Coinbase and PayPal integration. So for Canadian users, they can buy and sell crypto. Interesting. Now, it's funny to see all these companies and institutions flip. Obviously, JP Morgan partnering with Coinbase, which is insane. PayPal, not too long, these companies were censoring people like crazy. PayPal was most notorious for that, right? There was I forgot what the full story was, but it goes a little something like this. If you were to say something online that was politically incorrect, PayPal could just freeze and take your funds. JP Morgan and Chase, which Trump is going after banks who were discriminating against crypto projects and banks, or just crypto products and people in general, and going after conservatives, because there have been banks like we heard of Nick Fuentes, right? Obviously polarizing. You could say he's racist or whatever, but you shouldn't have your bank account and your funds frozen or kicked off a bank because of your political views. So obviously everyone's changing their tune because Trump is in the House and he's going after a lot of people. So PayPal flipping, JP Morgan flipping, and both partnering with Coinbase. Now the Chase partnership is interesting because, like Javi said, and a few other people, they've had issues dealing with JP Morgan and just crypto companies in general. But now you're going to be able to redeem your Chase rewards points, which you get from their credit card, for USDC, a stable coin. Or now you can use your credit card to buy crypto. So a lot of big companies are flipping. We're starting to see it happen slowly, but surely. Michael Saylor says, you do not sell your Bitcoin. So that's interesting, right? I remember when Trump was talking about or reading a script or something about crypto, and he says you should never sell your Bitcoin. He's like, I don't know who said that. Eventually you want to, sell to make money. Maybe not him because he has so much of it, but you get it. The A+ says Trump is going to have all these once anti-crypto establishments turn extra crypto friendly overnight. It's already happening. We're already starting to see it happen. So what's up, Jayhawk? How we doing, brother? Welcome back. Bitcoin back up to 15K in play. Bitcoin going back up 15K in play? I think so. $25 a Bitcoin, I'm in. Hey, anything helps, right? And shout out to the Guacamole Army. I see you guys in here. Javi says, shit, we endured 2022 to 2023. These dips aren't anything. Yeah, if you were here, I got into crypto fully in making content near the end of the last bull run. And it was rough making content, right? But if you endured that, you can really endure anything. What's up, Senor Rocco? Welcome to the stream, brother. How we doing? Bud says PayPal is a scummy company. They still have 10K of my money, but they have about $500 of my money. I was using it to an account when I was selling my t-shirts on Teespring, and I can't get it back. And for donations too. I don't know what was going on, but I couldn't get it back. Crazy. All right, what else is going on? This is interesting, right? So obviously we're starting to see regulatory bodies flip too, right? Obviously SEC is way different than it was in 2000. Last administration. And there's been a lot of different changes there, right? Most notably Gary Gensler to Paul Atkins, right? SEC declares crypto liquid staking activities are not considered securities. Very, very interesting, right? Let me see who, I think it was Jesse Powell. I think the founder of Kraken, who made a post about this asking, can I get my $25 million back? Because I think he had to pay a huge fine. Here it is, yeah. So obviously, Kraken had a big beef with the SEC. He had to pay a huge fine. And then he says, and their issue was staking and securities, right? So he says, can I get a $30 million refund then? Which is interesting. And I wonder if they're going to start doing that. Interesting. Very, very interesting. So a lot of people were wrecked because of that. But I think that, at the time, you have to abide by the laws that were in place. So that's very important, right? Jack says, hey, Rodney, you going to ghost me during the bear market? No, I'm not going to ghost you. What's up, Samuel? How you doing? Yes, 2022 was hell. And if you guys could just smash the like button for me, subscribe to the channel. It really helps the algorithm if you at least smash the like button. And if you're watching over on X, make sure you like the video and repost. Of course, if I see your repost here, or you let me know you repost, I'll give you a little shout out. So interesting. So obviously SEC changing its tune. It's nothing new to us, but interesting. So $3 trillion Goldman Sachs expects the Federal Reserve to begin interest rate cuts in September, which I think a lot of us people figured that would happen. And I do have another chart to show you guys, or a chance, or like odds that the Fed will cut interest rates in September, and we see that it's at a 94% chance right now. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna turn on the AC a little bit. It's hot as fuck in here, boy. All right, we're here. Sizzle comes in saying, fuck MAGA. I mean, we don't have to make it. Hey, look at the end of the day, blue, red, fucking purple, we're about crypto here. Whatever's going to pump my bags. If you're not a crypto person, why the fuck are you watching this stream? You know? Why are you watching this stream? You know what I mean? Sizzle is upsetty spaghetti. He absolutely is. But 94% chance that we get some rate cuts, guys. And that's just in time to follow pretty much every bull cycle we had. In fall, we start to massively pump. And this could be the start of an insane pump. So, and we'll see if we have this, dump that we have around December, right? November, December-ish, where markets peak. We saw it during the last, few runs, because Trump was saying that he thinks that we're going to have a better economy, better markets, 4 to 6 months. Very interesting, right? And obviously that would, extend the bull run. And a lot of people think that this bull run is going to be different. Michael Saylor thinks this bull run is going to be different. And I want to hear your opinion. Do you guys think that we follow the same traditional cycles we've always followed? Or do you think that this time is going to be a little different? It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting, right? So I bet a lot of people feel this. So Tom Lee, there are many wishing they took a sizable bet on Bitcoin in 2017 when it was under $1,000, now $114,000. Now, you know who else wish they would have took a bigger bet? People like BlackRock. I mean, we saw many articles back then and just, headlines on mainstream media that pretty much Bitcoin is a scam. It's a Ponzi scheme. No one trusts it. Even Trump said the same thing in 2019, that he doesn't like crypto in general. Obviously everyone's changed their tune on that. It's one of those things that we've always said. It's one of those things that you got to get with it or get left behind. So, yeah, it is different. So Jayhawk says it's different, right? Yeah, I believe so. Ape Life says, turn on the money printer. Frank the Tank, what's up, baby? How we doing? Long time no see. Cool. The Gamer says, this will be different. There will be more people and more money. It will be a different cycle. And I think that, as soon as the economy gets a little better and people can start feeling like they have discretionary income to actually buy crypto because retail isn't in yet, then we'll start to see a real pump, especially in altcoins. Because the truth is, retail isn't really here right now. We don't have the retail we had in 2021 where people are calling and texting you and asking you about crypto projects and those sorts of things. We don't really see that right now. It's mostly institutions buying. Right. Javi says, we broke the traditional 4-year cycle. We're always going to have a 4-year cycle just because of the Bitcoin halving. True. We did get some news that I think it was an executive order. President Trump imposes an additional 25% tariff on India over purchase of sanctioned Russian oil. Obviously we have some beef with Russia right now. And shout out to Ernie for reposting the stream. I appreciate you, brother. Ape Life says, I was too busy spending my paycheck on hood rats and clapping cheeks in 2017. Need a rewind button. I think a lot of us need a rewind button for sure. For sure. We do have some interesting news on pump fund protocols, or just, shitcoin platform protocols. Pump took the #1 spot again with 53.3% of the market share. So Pump Fund looking pretty good, Momo just got the listing on CoinMarketCap. Let's go. Shout out to my crypto space and shout out to the Momo community. So maybe Pump Fund making a little bit of a comeback. I don't know, maybe. And I think their token actually is starting to move too. And, I've been dunking on Pump Fund quite a bit, which, it deserves to be dunked on. I think they're up 8% on the day. Let's see. I bet the chart still looks like ass. Yeah, still looks pretty bad. But hey, we've seen crazier things in the space. Maybe they make a recovery, right? Bori, what's up, my guy? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning. GM. But I think a lot of us were busy doing other things. I tell this story that I heard about Bitcoin early because I was really big online gaming, and then of course Magic the Gathering, and MTGO Mount Gox was actually a Magic the Gathering website first. So I heard about all this stuff. I heard about Bitcoin, but it was none of the things I was ever going to buy because I just wasn't in it like that, But yeah, I remember back in 2017, 2015, 2012. It's like literally you'd go out and party and you're spending $5 on Coronas, right? Because that's how much beer costs when you're out sometimes, especially for a cheap beer like Corona. And you can think like, damn, I got about 5 Bitcoin with just one Corona, right? Yeah. Hindsight's 2020. The point is not to be this way in 5 more years or next cycle and be like, damn, I should have bought Bitcoin when it was $115,000. Now it's $500,000 or something like that, or with maybe one of the top altcoins, right? I don't think all the top altcoins are going to be here. I think there's going to be a few. I think Ethereum, maybe Solana, BNB, XRP, maybe here, but the other ones are still kind of, the jury's still out on a lot of the market, right? Now this is interesting. And this will be good. Yeah, Javi knows the Corona story. Yeah, the Corona story is pretty much, I was in Portland, and at the time, I just, with Ethereum like $1 or a couple dollars, and I'm out there, spending like $100 and a bunch of, Coronas, just having fun, turning up, people do, young adults do, and end up getting fucking wrecked, not wrecked, but, in hindsight, it's like, damn, but hindsight's 2020. Let's not feel this way the next bull run. All right. Or 10 years from now. Okay. So this is interesting. So every base token will be traded on Coinbase per Jesse Polik. No listing required. Users can search and buy directly. So we did get news. Yes, ETH was $2.50 at that time. Can you imagine? And Bori, thank you so much for reposting the stream. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Min, Zeus community in the house. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Get the Telegram in here. And again, Bori, thank you so much for reposting the stream. And if you were posted the stream, sometimes they let me know. Sometimes they don't, but I do appreciate all reposts. So we did get this news. So this is the Cointelegraph, article, not article, but post, you can say. We kind of knew something about this, but pretty much you're going to be able to trade any meme coin on base meme coin on a decentralized exchange in the Coinbase app. So that's interesting. Now it's not a Coinbase spot listing, but what I will say is, the reason why a Coinbase spot listing is so important, and just I think US listings in general, which I don't necessarily think that they're the most bullish anymore, because what we did see is that, because what made them so bullish before is that it's really hard to get listed on an American exchange because they're kind of picky, or they're not like L-Bank or these other small time cryptocurrency exchanges where you can pay them to get listed. They just kind of list people, and obviously if you're a United States company, you have to kind of be careful a little bit. But once Trump, got elected, before he got inaugurated, I mean, we saw Pepe, we saw a bunch of meme coins get listed on Coinbase. They're becoming more and more liberal with listing meme coins. But, Coinbase, in my opinion, I think it's the number one exchange for a lot of people in the United States. I think it's the most trusted exchange. It's a publicly traded company. They don't have a coin. They've been operating here. They never wanted to go out and operate somewhere else. They decided to work here in the United States, even though it's tough, right? Now they're going to be enabling you to use a DEX within the app. So that's pretty cool. It's the easiest exchange to use, in my opinion. It's the most user-friendly. The UI is great. Now for the base wallet, I think a lot of people prefer MetaMask, even Trust Wallet, Phantom. I think there's a lot of better options out there, even though Coinbase base now is trying to be like hip and stuff like that, and focus on RWAs and NFTs and music and just art and those sorts of things. But I think that people, especially degens, are still stuck on whatever they use. Me, I'm stuck on Phantom and MetaMask. I love those two apps. I think that MetaMask is God tier. And they just recently started offering Solana tokens and are being able to trade Solana tokens, which I think it was a long time coming. But when the retail starts to come in, maybe Coinbase is getting ready for that new demographic, the new people coming into the space, the people that are going to use Coinbase anyways to buy the top meme coins that maybe are listed on Coinbase, some top, some not, and have that option there to be able to buy anything. So it's actually a really good thing for them to be doing. Now, the question is, do you want to be doing degenerate stuff on a Coinbase exchange where you KYC? It's up to you, but that option is going to be there for the average person. So very interesting, right? So Coinbase positioning itself to be a juggernaut, in my opinion, if retail comes in, which we think it will, right? So very interesting. Brett is finally tradable on Coinbase. Jake is rock hard right now. It is technically, but not. It's not there for spot trading, but you can trade any base meme coin on Coinbase's DEX, right? So I don't know if it's just going to be base meme coins or it's going to be all meme coins, but at least we now know for sure base. So very, very interesting. Pretty awesome. All right, what else do I got here? There wasn't a ton of news today, guys. It was kind of dry today. I'm not going to lie. Let's see if I have any more news. I did see this. So Solana Mobile begins shipping tens of thousands of Seeker devices to over. So what are Seeker devices? Is it their phones? Do you guys know anything about this? Now, obviously, two different, crypto projects trying to be something different than just tokens and NFTs, which is Sui with Sui Play. And then, of course, we have Solana with the Solana phone. Is that what a Seeker is? Is that their phone? I don't know if you guys know, but oh yeah, 2 years to ship. So I think it is their phone. And I know that they were airdropping things on it like Bonk at the time. So I wonder if the same amount of Bonk is going to be on there, because obviously Bonk is way higher than it was 2 years ago. So very interesting. And I'm interested to see how like Sui Play does, because crypto gaming has always been a thing. And I think that they've always had, can you stop spamming your fucking Zeus CA right now? Can we wait a second? And then I'll get to that. All right. Stop. You're filling up the chat with shitcoins. Not yet. Let's wait a little bit, right? I'm hoping Coinbase lists Zebek. Zebek's like a real crypto project, maybe, but it's been around for a minute, right? And honestly, I think that, the initial boost from Coinbase listing is pretty good, but I think you need to be like a real bull market for it to have like a crazy effect. Because I know that Pepe got listed and it didn't really do much. I mean, Pepe did hit an all-time high of 11 billion, but it was because the entire market was going up, right? Right. Stop spamming in the chat so I can actually speak to people until we get to that meme coin, shitcoin spot. Okay. So yeah, just clear up the chat. All right. What else we got here? That might be the end of the news, guys, which is kind of perfect. Half an hour in. What else did we get?
I know you guys had Michael.
Okay, we had Charlie Kirk say something with Michael Saylor on Bitcoin. So let's check this out. I thought this was interesting.
Into something. There is something called like the mass adoption theory, which is over a period of time, like the English language, US dollar, things just catch on and they're just kind of volitional and there's no stopping it. I think Bitcoin is that.
Yeah.
Watch out though, quantum computing could potentially crack cryptography.
But if they do that, then they're also cracking bank accounts.
Right.
And stock trading accounts.
So quantum is the only asterisk on all this. But I think Saylor's onto something very profound, which is that because Bitcoin is a legitimately scarce resource, that it's probably going to go nowhere but up. So Saylor makes a very provocative argument that Bitcoin could go up 10x over the next 10 years or something like that, which therefore if we started Bitcoin strategic reserve, it could like pay for the national debt and like basically cover our losses on the deficit. But I think that I think the United States government should be invested in crypto without a doubt.
I tend to agree with Michael Saylor that it's more likely to go to 1 million than 0.
Yes, I think that's right. And by the way, so you have a problem with the world's richest people. They don't know where to put their money. So there's only so many penthouses in London and Paris that they could buy. There's only so many ranches in Wyoming that they could buy. And so we had this problem. So you create all this money, the money goes upwards. It's wealth inequality point. To your earlier point, the question is then, well, what do rich people do with money? There's only so many equities they can buy. There's only so many shares in NVIDIA and Apple and Microsoft they could justify. Well, money needs to find a home, and it's found a home in Bitcoin. And so once it has mass adoption, and literally the wealthiest families on the planet are starting to park serious monies in Bitcoin. And because it's scarce,
it's something that we've always talked about, right? Get with it or get left behind. And the United States is finally starting to get with it. So yeah, absolutely, I agree. So obviously Charlie Kirk, obviously, it's nice to see people that are not really crypto personalities talk about crypto. Now, what was his name? I forgot his name, but I used to watch him quite a bit. Graham Stevens, right? He's been he's talked about like clickbaity crypto stuff like SHIB to $1 and stuff like that, and before. But he's a finance guy, obviously, like a saving guy, finance guru kind of guy. I don't think he's a guru, but I think he's actually one of the good guys out there. So shout out to Graham Stevens. But it's nice to see people that are in crypto talking about crypto, because that's when you know it's coming. And it's true. We're starting to see a lot of people that you wouldn't think, athletes and those sorts of things, when asked about it, they're like, oh yeah, no, I have Bitcoin, and you would never think it. So interesting, right? Very interesting. The Ape Life says Sui Network needs Sui Play to save its ass after the Cetus debacle. Well, the thing is, like, One, I don't think so. And two, the Cetus debacle was handled very, very good. Now, Cetus is not SWE, and SWE is not Cetus, but Cetus is the number one liquidity provider on SWE. So it's like a lot of tokens are paired, and they have the liquidity on Cetus. And what happened was a fantastic response to a big disaster. Right? It's not SWE's fault at all, but they did back, their number one liquidity provider, and they did, pretty much give the space some clarity when it happened. So if you guys didn't know, obviously SWE, one of the bigger altcoins, layer ones in the space, was pumping, doing well, and still a top 15 crypto. It's doing very, very well. It's one of the most bullish altcoin. I'm bullish on that altcoin compared to a lot of other ones, and it's new to the space relatively, right? If you've ever traded on SWE, it's like a fucking dream. Transactions, I've never had a transaction fail, and they're fast, right? Well, the number one liquidity provider had an exploit. Someone was able to steal like hundreds of millions of dollars. And right away, the SWE ecosystem and the SWE developers got on a live space with David, who's the main developer of a meme coin on SWE named Lofi, and explained exactly what was going on in the community. There was no like couple of days of we didn't know what was going on. There was no even a couple hours of we didn't know what was going on. There was no, it was just all in like clear facts and explaining things, the same thing over and over again for hours on a live space after the incident happened. So they really handled it the best way they could. And remember, it wasn't a SWE issue. It was like if Uniswap got compromised, right? And the Ethereum devs came out and supported Uniswap, right? So SWE play has been a thing before, the whole issue with Cetus. So I honestly think the whole situation made him look better. Obviously a lot of meme coins died because of it, but some meme coins were able to figure it out, move on, and, get the liquidity provided in many different places or recover it and those sorts of things. What's up? Iron Lux Trader says, what it do? Iron Lux Trader says, market looks like it's starting to wake up. I think we're going to trade sideways for a little bit, but I think we could be bottomed out. We'll see. Spider-Man says, is Trump gonna fire Powell? He's actively looking for a replacement, so we'll see. So yesterday, this video came out. It's 9 seconds. We covered it at the beginning of the stream where he talked about, having 4 replacements. 4 people are being considered to replace Jerome Powell. But we did also speak about that there's now a 94% chance that, interest rates are going to be cut. We have it right here. Where's it at? Right here, 94% chance that interest rates are going to be cut in September. So remember when Volt was like it? Yeah, remember Saitama, Shibnobi, Mononoke, Inu. Yeah, I remember all the top meme coins were like it. At least Volt did some good things for a while and tried to stay afloat. I think that some meme coin, we don't know what the intentions are of some of these devs, right? But it's hard to keep a meme coin afloat and very expensive. You know what I mean? What about LLVVA? I'll get to that when I start. Is it a shit coin? I'll get to that when I start looking up shit coins. You're like actually annoying. Just ask one time. You know what I mean? Just ask one. I'll get to it eventually. You're sitting there spamming your fucking contract address. Just wait. Chill out. One second. Let me finish answering like actual questions for the market, and then we'll check out projects. Jesus Christ. I saw your message. I'm about to crash out. Jesus. All right. Yeah, but I don't know if Brett's going to be tradable on Coinbase, like as for spot trading. It might, because it just got listed on Binance US, which it's pretty tough, I think. Obviously not as bullish as Binance.com. You could say it's hard to get listed on Binance US, but it may not be as hard because we saw more exchanges be liberal with listing meme coins. Even like Binance. Binance was listing random shit under like $10 million of market cap size for a little bit. Remember, after Trump got inaugurated, there was like a few meme coins that were like literally under 5 mil and then pumped out of nowhere. And it got listed on Binance, which is crazy. You're like, what? Which it smells like insider trading. Like, hey, let the homies get in on a cheap meme coin, but whatever, So I'm not sure if getting listed on Binance US is it's tough to say. All right, what else do we have here for crypto news? Then we'll get into looking into some meme coins. You guys are wild. What else do we have? Oh, this is kind of spooky, and then we'll get into we'll get into some meme coins here. I did want to see Elon Musk. Obviously, I wonder. If you think about cell phones, for example, like I've been like watching a lot of videos on like the pretty much Steve Jobs and more specifically like the introduction of the iPhone and how it really changed like the cell phone space. And we know how big it was at the time. And that wasn't even too long. Oh, like 2007, right? It wasn't even too long ago, but just under 20 years. In 20 years from now, like what is it going to look like with like robots and shit, right? So check this out. So this is Tesla's Optimus robot, Obviously, it's still kind of dirtily, right? But I mean, a lot of phones were dirtily at the time, Right? I can't even get a clean roll off of paper towel sometimes. What's up, Janara? How we doing? Welcome. Want us to cook them? Nah, not yet. This is crazy, right? Like, yeah, they look kind of dirtily now, but maybe 10, 20 years from now, how are they going to look? These fuckers are going to be banging your wife, bro. They'll be taking your wife out. Like iRobot, bro. I had forgotten about BitBoy Crypto, and damn, I didn't realize it got that bad. Yeah, BitBoy Crypto is not looking good. Yeah, it got me fired up. Fucking got it. Tranquilo, papi. I know. I need to relax. I know. But it's pissing me off, dude. He's like spamming contract addresses and just like, hey. It's like, I see you, guy, but let's get to that part of the thing yet. Dude, let's just chill. Because I want to answer like these comments where you guys are actually adding to the conversation. Now, hey, look at my meme coin. Hey, fuck you and your news. Look at my meme coin. What do you think about it? It's like, I'll look at your meme coin right now in a second, or whatever crypto it is. Just give me a second, man. We get to that part. I'll let the homies get in, Rodney. I said Binance did that, not me. What's up with Pink Sale? Yeah, obviously like pre-sale. I haven't heard of a good pre-sale in a minute, All right, AB Empowerment with the fucking poetry. Rodney, best thing to do is simply ignore such comments. No point raising your blood pressure. It's not worth it. Keep up that good work. Yeah, but I'm not like that, Everybody knows I have time. Sometimes I don't have time, but today I got time. Most days I got time. That's just me. But look it, no harm. You could still come back, and hang out. I'm cool with it. But just relax a little bit, Gennaro, good to have you back, brother. What's going on? Dude better make Rodney do morphin time on his ass. This nigga says, look at Zeus. All right, I'm blocking you. I don't give a fuck. You're blocked. Goodbye. I'm not gonna block you. Don't let centralized computers cloud harvest your robot, AI, and internal data. Swiss bank and largest bank is testing ICP. Oh, okay, ICP. Internet computer. Hopefully it can recover. Oh my God, wait until those damn things can swallow. Oh my God, you guys are nasty. Selmo, they don't know about the Bitcoin EBT card. Get Bitcoin when you buy with EBT. Cashback. I remember when I used to work retail back in the good old days before, honestly, I think, never mind, I won't get into that. Yeah, but there used to be people that would be in line at Target and be like, hey, if you let me pay with your groceries with my EBT card and just give me half of it in cash. I was like, damn, that's fucking scandalous as hell. Zoom in on them robotic cheeks. I don't think that has any ass. Not yet. But I think you should be able to customize them though. Get yourself a little waifu. She starts mouthing off. All right. LVVA. This better be fucking good or I'm about to go in. What about, if this is not good, I'm about to go in. Okay. Leave a protocol. What is this? All right, your chart looks like cheats. Looks like cheeks. 2 million market cap, down 26%. Looks like shit. All right, well, let's look at your website. No, I'm just fucking with you. I'll give it a fair shot. Grow your crypto smarter and safer. Start earning yield without the complexity of the thing. Get the fuck out of here. So you're offering me yield. Yeah, stake your crypto with us. And then we'll give you yield, but all the time, the whole shit's dumping. I got in the DAOs back in the day. Remember DAOs, decentralized stuff? I get it. Yeah, you can offer 1 million AP fucking Y, whatever it is. But if your token's dumping 100% every month, then it doesn't matter. Leva smart portfolios automate everything, strategy, allocate. There's no AI has been really good at predicting markets, anyways, and rebalancing, so you can earn passively and safely. No guesswork, no micromanaging, just effort yields tailored for you. Meanwhile, our chart took a shit. Thanks for that, Leva. Nah, but I'm just fucking with you. But all seriously, it's just like another run-of-the-mill AI project, and stuff like that. I mean, here's the thing: if you want to stake your tokens for a prolonged period of time, you have to believe in the project long term. So let me invest $10,000 for 3 years. I can earn $20K, up to $20K, which is okay. But is it in their token? Because if it's in their token, then depending on the price, I mean, it's going to dump. So I don't know. Whatever floats your boat or finds your lost remote. All right. Same shit, but in 2025. Yeah. Oh my God. Billy changed my life. I bought at 150K market cap at 10. Wait, what? OMG, Billy changed my. What's up, Abombo Crypto? Did you buy a small cap crypto and you pumped? Good for you. I love when people make gains. It just makes me feel so happy when people make some gains, make some gains. Same shit, but in 2025. Yeah, absolutely. Rod looking up tokens out of spite now. Things have gone downhill ever since Jake left. No, actually, we just decided to stop streaming together because none of it was on my channel. So, and then I'd rather just do my own streaming, to be honest. And it's better for both of us because we're both able to focus on our own work, But we should get some streams back. For sure. All right, what else? No, I look up tokens for everybody, But it's annoying when I'm going through the news and they're spamming the whole chat and I'm trying to respond in chat with you guys. Like, hey, shut up, guy. It's like going to a meeting or a place and being like, hey. It's like, can you wait? A Billy on base. Yeah, I can check it out. You bought 150K. Shout out to you. You bought it 150K. Nice. Dude, shout out to Trollcoin. Doing some nice things. All right, Billy on base. Billy the base mascot. So this is at, yeah. I mean, it's fairly new to the space. Volume's really good at 1 million. Yeah, looks pretty good. Had a nice little dump right here and then started to recover. So yeah, looks pretty decent. You never know with some of these small cap guys, but it could be base season next. So this is it. This is their. Oh, is it a game? Oh, can I play? How do I play? This is a game. I want to play. Score. How do I? Do I have to connect my wallet? I don't want to connect my wallet. How do I play? Wait, how do I play? Wait, do I play like this? Wait, how do you play? What do you do? Is this a tutorial? Drop, move. Okay. I'm trying and I don't get it. I don't get this game. All right, let's refresh. Yeah, I don't know. All right, VeChain management was very helpful when they visited Hive. Wait, what are you talking about? Yeah, VeChain is speaking of staking, VeChain obviously VeChain is my sponsor, right? We'll talk about good staking, Stargate. When you're, in my opinion, when you're betting on a big crypto before retail or an altcoin cycle that we think is going to happen starts, I'm not promising anything, right? But that's what I would bet when it comes to staking, right? And then maybe consider taking profits along the way, or maybe near where you think the top's going to be. It was an amazing share on my crypto journey on the amazing Twitter X files. What's up, Leroy? 42 banks are blocking XRP from getting their own bank. Yeah, but I don't know if you've heard the news on the executive order with Trump. He's going after banks that discriminate against conservatives because it's messed up. And then obviously that were pretty much, Operation Choke Point, where they were, pretty much blacklisting crypto not allowing, crypto products to work with banks and get funded and those sorts of things, right? It was hard for crypto companies to get funded and those sorts of things. Do people shill you IRL when out and about? So I've been recognized about 5 or 6 times. 2 times. One, I was in Costco And some guy was part of the Jesus coin community back when it was doing well. And he's like, I'm a top 50 holder in Jesus coin. I watch your content. I watch you and Jake. And then one time I was on the elevator and some guy was delivering Postmates. He's like, hey, I follow you. He's like, I'm part of the Byte community. So, and then a few other people saw me at the airport, and they didn't show anything, but they just said, what's up? So that was pretty interesting. It's weird being recognized for being online. It's been 5 people, 5 or 10, somewhere in that area, but that's pretty cool. And only twice they shilled. So the guy's like, hey, Byte, talk about Byte. And obviously, one guy was talking about Jesus coin. So I almost lost everything until last year. Finally saw some games with Zebek. Got in early. Oh, okay, we'll check out Zebek. See, look at Jason, for example. He mentioned Zebek during the stream. I saw it, And I'm going to look it up now because it's that time. You know what he didn't do? He didn't keep spamming it. Oh, Zebek Network, right? I think there's 2 of them, but I think this is the one you're talking about. It's up 11% on the day. Chart actually looks decent all time. Looks like it's recovering quite nicely. $36 million market cap. Yeah. And this is what you want. This is what you look for, right? I think it is still fairly new. So you do have to keep that in mind, but it is moving with the market. Volume gone down a little bit, but it is moving with the market. So nice. Let's see what it does. The centralized infrastructure network for seamless flow of real world value. Changing the ways. Hold on. Okay, so just for businesses, RWA payments. Okay, sick. Yeah, looks like a decent project. I mean, the price reflects that, right? I mean, price is the number one thing, right? Does anyone feel the same as I do? XRP will surpass Bitcoin eventually? No way, dude. I mean, maybe. You mean in market cap size? I don't know, dude. Okay. So if XRP hit Bitcoin's current market cap today, it'd be around $36, I believe. Let's double check, but I think it's around there. $35, $36, something like that. So market cap calculator. And we just do this. We go XRP to Bitcoin. Yeah, $38. So 12x. I know. I don't know though. Phishing scam stole 3 million. Yeah, and we covered this the other day, like cautionary tales. I mean, when the crypto hype kicks in, that's when scammers start getting even crazier, right? So if you're, you got to be extra careful. That's the benefit of exchanges if you don't get scammed by fake exchanges. Because I get a ton of emails every day and text messages saying, hey, call this number. Coinbase needs to talk to you. And it's not Coinbase. And they're more complex now because before they would have people who are obviously weren't American, like, hey, this is Jordan Smith calling from Los Angeles. We know you're Indian, right? But there's actually American people now, or people with good American accents, or maybe AI or whatever, that are in proper English to sound professional that will scam you, And we read an article maybe 6 months ago where a person who was getting scammed knew they were getting scammed, but they didn't get scammed. But they started talking to the guy why are you doing this? And the guy just started having a conversation with them, which is interesting. Right now, you're going to get a lot of links, guys. Remember, if it's too good to be true, it is. Stop and think for a second. We've seen multiple X accounts get compromised, although less now than before, where people are putting up fake NFT drops. Vitalik did one, right? Obviously not him, but his account got compromised. We're starting to see exclusive Discords get infiltrated, right? Places that you think are safe. Steve Aoki, Jake Gagan, BitBoy Crypto. A lot of famous people have got their accounts compromised. People click links and they get wrecked. So you got to make sure you're extra careful and stop to think to yourself, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And they put some sort of urgency in it. Hey, claim this now to be the first 100 people or something, and you sit there and click connect your wallet. Because once you connect your wallet, it's over. You can click on a link, but once you connect your wallet, it's over. So just make sure you just really have some patience, right? Senor Rojo says, I'm just looking at all the real life cases and Bitcoin doesn't have any. Well, Bitcoin's real life case is a form of currency. Obviously, it's way too slow for that now, right? Doing a transaction for Bitcoin would take forever. And by the time your transaction executes, the price will be different, right? But yeah, XRP has done a good job at positioning itself for when we actually start to see crypto as more just speculation. Because I think that right now, except for stable coins, we just see a lot of cryptos as speculation, and XRP is getting licensed everywhere and has the opportunity to do some pretty big things. So I agree. It's in a good position. And when the world finds a real use case for you, then yeah, that's when things can get crazy. Because yes, Bitcoin's market cap is high, guys, but there's still some big daddies out there, right? Stop and think. Advice needed by Shannon Sharp. I get it though. I don't click on anything or answer any random calls. So sometimes I'll answer. I'll start like talking shit to the scammer. Right now, there is $50 million of Bitcoin that was placed on Chain Fusion by ICP. Nice. Internet Computer. They need some loving with their price, but Will alert. Unknown wallets transferring to exchange. Sounds Indian. Yeah. When will rule run 2025? Real run, not fake run. Only your opinion. Yeah. So Min K. Look it, I apologize for going in on you earlier. And now if you want to show your project, I got you, okay? But that's a great question. So I think we need to get retail into the space. And the truth is institutions, people with money are buying crypto because they can, right? That's why people say the rich get richer in times like these, because people with money and capital to put into the markets, because the markets are going to go up, I mean, they get richer, right? They have money to do that. Like some people don't have 100K lying around to put into fucking whatever coin and when it pumps, most people right now are kind of living paycheck to paycheck and don't have discretionary income to invest, or they just won't, not enough. Right. We need retail in the market, and we can't get that until interest rates are cut, because then it creates better, an economic situation for a lot of people. When interest rates are lower, obviously people start to buy because that's what money do. I mean, that's what rich people do, and people with money, they look for markets, they look for a pivot right there. And then, entrepreneurs and people looking to just take risks and maybe take on loans can have that opportunity, right? You're not looking to, I mean, maybe 25 basis points isn't a lot, but it can be quite a bit if you're looking at long-term loans and those sorts of things. People taking a chance, and especially entrepreneurs and those sorts of things. So when retail gets into the space, right? Ape Life said that's why rate cuts are crucial. That's when retail can afford to buy risk on assets. Exactly. Alex Mashinsky went to jail for 12 years for Celsius. Too good to be true yields. Yeah, I know. Absolutely insane. And that was Celsius, right? When things are too good to be true, they probably are, like Anchor Protocol. And, at the time, Terra Luna was offering like 20% by staking their stablecoin, their algorithmic stablecoin, which we now know algorithmic stablecoins don't work. And we learned that the hard way in 2022. But it was too good to be true. And for a time when the market's pumping, you can get those yields. But what happens is that people get greedy. They like to keep it in there for a long time. And when they should have pulled profits, market starts dumping, then those yields go away. So you have to be careful about parking your money in something for a long time. That's why I looked at that project Leva earlier for Yin. It's like I talk shit about those projects because they wreck a lot of people. And if it's not a top crypto, look at, fine, maybe you put your money in that and it goes up and it does well. It could happen. But most of the time, these people offering these insane yields, they just want you to keep your money staked with them for a prolonged period of time, and they just make off with your money, right? It's tough to put your money in something, earn those insane rewards, especially when the market's looking bad. And that's why everybody got exposed when the market started dumping. When the market started dumping, that's when FTX got exposed, Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna, they all got exposed, right? Yeah, 25 basis points every 2 months. I like it. Yeah, absolutely. Rodney, stop putting my business out on the streets. Absolutely not. How many rug pulls can a rug puller pull if a rug puller could pull rules? I say that fast 3 times. How many rug pulls can a rug puller pull if a rug puller could pull? Fuck. How many rug pulls could how many rug pulls can a rug puller pull if a rug puller could? I'm not doing this. I get lots of scam cell phone calls and fake emails that take money all the time. And look, I never fall for them because I know what they are. But I have friends who reach out to me and say, hey, man, this person wants me to transfer all my crypto here. Like I told you, I had a friend, he hit me up and was like, hey, I got this email from Coinbase saying Coinbase is going out of business due to the Trump administration, which is not true. And they want me to, send my money here instead of keep it on Coinbase. And I'm like, that is obviously fake. But he didn't know. He doesn't know. He's not keeping up with the news. He's just a regular guy. He's just a regular guy. He buys a little bit on Coinbase, doesn't pay attention to the news. And then when he looks on, his emails, he sees a message from Coinbase and freaks the fuck out, I tried sending that in the super chat, but YouTube didn't let me. That's fine. But I appreciate the effort, Thank you so much for wanting to give me your money. Yeah. But that's the stream, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Fantastic stream. I hope you got filled in all the new. I hope I filled you guys up real good today. I hope I filled each and every one of you guys up real good. Hope you guys feel really filled up. 5 billion cell phone customers right now. Caffeine AI to help me help them program without going off to school. Most women are scammed. We never get what's advertised. That is true. Remember, Bucky, I shielded it at 8 million market cap and went up to 50 million. And so let's go, Samuel. Samuel's making some fucking absolute. Hey, yo. Hope you guys are filled up, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. Well, I love you more. We love you more. Peace, guys.